Good morning, everyone. So nice to be back on here with you. It feels like it's been a long time since I've stamped. I actually have had no time in my stamp room recently, and I think the last time I did stamp was the last video I made. So I'm really looking forward to this morning, having a chance to do a little creating with you today, and then hopefully getting a little bit of creating done on my own afterwards. I've got a few hours this morning with no responsibilities before I head out for a nice hike this afternoon. So this is the card that we're going to make today, or some variant of this. There were a few little things that I wanted to try differently on the one that I'm actually going to make with you today. So I'm going to set that aside and pull out the set that we're actually going to be using. So it's the Jar of Love, and then the Everyday Jars Framelits. Good morning, Val. This is yet again a retiring item, and I'm so sad to see this one go. Earlier this week I posted a card that I made for my cousin Brendan and his wife Ellen, and I used this set because it matched their invitation to their wedding. I actually bought this set for that purpose. I'd never played with it prior, but I knew that we had it and it matched their wedding invitation so perfectly that I went out and purchased it, and I am so glad I did, because it is so much fun to create, adding in all sorts of little details and stuff. The little fish and the best fishes, like I love all the little puns that there are that go with this set, and then the dies are gorgeous. And I do have one of the jars and the Firefly out right now because we're going to be using them today. But like, you've got the cuts for the jar lids and the jar ribbons and the bow and the fish. Like every little piece of this, all the flowers can be cut out. And then there's some fun accents like the beautiful hearts and the handle for the jar. So like if you're carrying, thanks Val for sharing. If like you were going to carry your jar full of fish or jar full of fireflies, you can cut out this little handle so you don't have to do any fussy cutting. You can even cut out the leaves and everything. Now the images on here are really half size. You actually get 2 sheets of stamps in here. So tons and tons of stuff. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And then like here's some examples, because I'm not actually stamping flowers today. So here's some examples of the flowers stamped in Calypso Coral. So I did a stamp off for the background and then a full inked stamp image for the center of the flower. And here's that one as well. I think that one was in Flirty Flamingo. So some really, really gorgeous little flowers here. And, you know, lots of people do the jars of flowers. So I thought I'd change it up just a little bit and show you a card doing the fireflies and some really fun little techniques for getting that done. So I'm just going to move these out of our way because I have all my stamps on blocks and ready to go for us. So most of our work today is going to be on this one little piece of paper. I've already forgotten my measurements. Let's see here. It is 2 5/8 by 3 3/4, and so pretty much everything we're doing today is on this piece. I am going to grab my jar, and you can see I haven't bothered even to wash my stamp since I made my sample last night. So I'm going to ink this up with Memento ink. Now if I was stamping on vellum, which I often do with this set, I would use the StazOn. And then you just have to be careful because StazOn vellum can just slip around a little bit. So you just got to have kind of a steadier hand, maybe even use the Stamparatus so that you don't get that slipping and sliding with the StazOn on the vellum, because it is kind of a glossier type of paper. So I've stamped my jar. Love how quick and clean that is to stamp. And then I'm going to grab, I shouldn't have put the lid on that. I am going to grab my firefly. Hi, Eileen. I saw your message on my personal page just before I came on, so I'll reply to you about that one after I finish my video. So just working with the Jar of Love stamp set, and I'm just stamping some fireflies right now into this jar. And then I'm going to grab a scrap paper, and like this one actually has like remnants of a dragonfly even on the back. I keep those because they're still good to use for other things like this. So here we go. I'm going to stamp in my fireflies. And this is all just with the Memento ink. Okay, Tuxedo Black Memento. And we can pop that away now. Now I'm going to color in all of my fireflies right now. I'm going to do their wings with a dark pool party. And so just coming in here, and no blending or anything, not getting fancy in that way at all. Just coloring those wings. There we go. So yeah, I feel like it's been a crazy, crazy week around here. School and at home, and it's only Wednesday. We've just had so much going on, so much gardening stuff happening at school, and then we've had some special presentations. We had an amazing danced till I couldn't breathe experience with a group called Venez Danser, a Métis dance group with my class, and just so much fun. And it's just been a whirlwind around here. So it's kind of nice to just have a morning to myself. I'm free till 11 to do what I want. So what I've just done here is I grabbed my sponge daubers. Love these things because you get to keep your fingers clean. And I just ran it through my Daffodil Delight, I think I grabbed. Yeah, Daffodil Delight. And just doing that glow on the end of the firefly. Now most of that glow is going to get cut off of those little guys, but here in our jar, our glow is going to stay. So really nice there. All right. Now, because of course, if you've ever seen real fireflies, their glow isn't just directly attached to them, I'm going to actually add in a little bit of a glow around the jar itself, and kind of in a circular motion. I'm just using what's left on my sponge dauber here. Not going to go in and get anything extra, and just kind of doing a circle around my fireflies. And it's okay to leave some of this centerpiece white. There we go. Now with that done, I can put away my Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to grab another sponge. Now, unfortunately, I need to restock my sponge daubers. I don't have enough to go into all of the colors I want to go into. That's on my wish list for my next order. So I'm going to use just a regular sponge and come in here to my Copacabana, and I'm going to do just a softer little layer around the outside of that. So blending the yellow with the Copacabana. Okay. And I don't get my fingers too inky doing this. There we go. With that one done, I'm going to put away my Copacabana, and I'm going to grab, oh, what was my next color? Oh, right. It's right in front of me. The hard one to see. Night of Navy. And this is going to get us our nice deep sky. Okay. And so, starting off my page again. And kind of circular cross motions. And I'm actually going to do a lot of this Night of Navy and really get in here and get all the way around the edges and create quite a dark look for this card, like it's that night sky, and it's just these little fireflies lighting up some space. And so, I don't know, there's people who are much more skilled at this than I am. I just kind of go for it with the inks, and if it doesn't turn out, I grab a new piece of paper. So here we go. Just coming in here with some more navy, blend that a bit. I know, I love the fireflies. I personally am like a huge dragonfly person, but the fireflies are the next best thing because they are just so darn cute. All right, so that's looking good to me. Now I'm going to keep my Night of Navy out because the thing I didn't do on my last card was kind of give this jar a place to rest. I kind of felt like, oh my gosh, I've just left it kind of like hanging in the air, which it really isn't. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a grassy bottom to sit in. And so I've come in here with my Night of Navy, so it's that shadowy look of like it's resting in the grass with these plants. And I'm going to do a bunch of them. Even the ones that you know, this one on the side here didn't really show up because it's super dark, but it's there if you're really looking. Okay, quite a few layers here. And really giving it a good resting spot. All right, now with that done, I am going to go in and I'm not even going to clean that. I'm just going to go in to my Copacabana and do 1 or 2 Copacabanas because they're going to get that slight glow to them if they're the ones closer to the jar. There we go. A few of them there. All right. So with that kind of done, now my jar doesn't look like it's just floating anymore. I'm much happier with that. All right. So now the rest of this card is super, super quick. I got a piece of Night of Navy for my card base, piece of yellow to Daffodil Delight to mount that on, and then I've grabbed a piece of paper from the Twinkle Twinkle DSP, and this is a retiring DSP. This is the gorgeous one that goes with the baby set. So it's got like some nice stripes, some stars, some really fun little polka dots, some more stars and stripes, the constellations, and I think somewhere in here we've got, oh yeah, the, oh, I can't remember what color that is. I think it's granite, gray granite, and some petal pink, I believe, polka dots. So some really nice patterns happening there. And then, of course, we've got this one with this gray granite stars on the back. But I just love this kind of starry sky. So we're going to use that, and nothing fancy here. We are just going to glue it straight down to our card. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. And because of how I've cut this, because I am trying to just use up scraps, I'm just going to make sure that it is equally spaced from top, bottom, and the one side. Okay. So that is there. Now, oh, I forgot one more thing to our piece. Sorry. I do have one more thing to add on to this. I am going to grab, ooh, almost sat on it. I'm going to grab my embossing stuff. So I have my embossing buddy here, and this is going to be really important since we've been touching this cardstock so much doing our sponging. So in the area right here where I'm going to stamp, I'm just going to go through with my embossing buddy. This is kind of just like makes it anti-static. You rub it over your paper and then takes away kind of any moisture or anything where your embossing powder might want to stick. Amanda, if you're watching this later, this one's for you because I know you had said you hadn't seen any embossing yet, and I think Denise as well. So I've grabbed my Versamark, which is basically a clear ink, and it does not dry very quickly. I've got my words here, You Light Up My Life. Going to put them into my clear ink and just stamp that right on there. Now you can see that you can't really see it because of course it's clear. And you've got some time, like you don't have to rush with this because it does not dry very quickly. Now over top of my tray, I am going to sprinkle a little bit of white embossing powder, and then I'm going to tap that off. Oops. So apparently I didn't do a very good job with my, darn it. Didn't do a very good job there with the embossing buddy. Or maybe I picked it up and smudged it. Darn it, I hope that's not what happened. Okay, yikes. So you can use a paintbrush to take away some of this. I also will hold it upside down. I think I might have smudged that with my hand when I picked it up. Okay, so I do have a skinnier paintbrush that I'm going to use to get in here. This is my fault. Doing a little bit of smudging there. Yikes. Okay, where did my paintbrush go? It's running away from me. As you can see, I've got a couple of trays here. This one is just a box lid, and I put tinfoil in it. It's great for heating things on so that you don't ruin any surfaces in your home if you have like nice wood finished tables or something that you're working at. I always bring that one with me when I go to somebody's house because I never know what surface we're going to be working on. All right. So this one is not going to be the best I've ever done for embossing. I'll probably actually end up redoing this one. But for today, we're just going to move on with it so that you guys can see what the finished card generally will look like. So, you light up my life are the words there. I thought my thumb might have touched that spot, which is unfortunate. All right, so we're going to move that aside now. And I'm going to grab my heat tool. So I just got to plug this in. I never ever leave my heat tool plugged in. I'm a little bit paranoid that something could happen. It could fall and turn on and start a fire. So I always unplug my heat tool. And then you literally just do this. There we go. You can see it's starting to change. It's melting. There we go. So that is all melted and embossed now, and we're good to go. So our next step is to cut out these little guys, and I am not going to fussy cut them. I'm going to bring in our Big Shot. Oh, I shouldn't cover them up if I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to bring in our Big Shot. I've got my magnetic plate here. And you can see sometimes with the magnetic plate that the dies have kind of a mind of their own as to where they want to go. So when that happens, I just kind of start to shuffle my paper around until the die and the magnet underneath are kind of happy with each other and sitting where I want them. The other thing you can do is grab a piece of washi tape and tape that die in place. So there we go. We've got one firefly cut out. And is that quick and simple? Voila. And now we'll do our second one. And again, I'm just going to fiddle till the magnets are happy. There we go. I know washi tape is fabulous, but when I'm just doing one piece, I just find it's easier to fiddle with the papers until they work. If I was trying to do a bunch of things at once, I would for sure washi tape. All right. So now I have my two little fireflies and my smudged words. I'd probably grab a piece of Night of Navy and re-emboss that and glue it over top. Or maybe like use dimensionals to pop it up. We'll see. So there we go. Glue that down. Then I'm going to use some mini dimensionals on the backs of these fireflies. So pop that there. And one like that. And there we go. Grab another mini dimensional. Pop that on the back. Voila. Now I'm going to use some regular dimensionals on the back of this to give this a little lift on my card. And wow, it feels good to be stamping again. I really needed this outlet. All right. And place that on my card. I am going to grab some Wink of Stella now. This is my favorite for adding just that fancy little touch. So I'm just going to Wink of Stella the ends and actually maybe the whole little glowy spot on my fireflies. And so that just gives them a little twinkle. It's a little bit hard for you to see in the video. But there we go. There's some shine. So in person, it's got a lot more shine to it. So they really light up the sky. So that is my card for today. This is all retiring product except for, you know, the cardstock and the embossing powder. So if you really did enjoy this set, you might want to grab it before it is gone. I do know that a lot of things are retiring and going out of stock. They've already run out of lemon lime twist paper and, well, pretty much everything lemon lime twist. So really don't wait until the end of the month to be placing those orders. You might end up that you miss out on things. So definitely kind of go through, figure out what you absolutely need to have out of the retiring stock and grab it while you can. Thank you very much, Val. And yeah, I'm going to go through, I think, just with a little piece of navy cardstock and redo that embossing and just pop that up so that it isn't all smudged. Yeah, so that is my card for today. I am expecting, what, today is the 7th or 8th, so I'm expecting my paper pumpkin to close and arrive next week. So next week we should have some double videos. If you have not yet ordered up your paper pumpkin, the ordering for that doesn't close till May 10th. And so we've got this gorgeous card and a bunch of others that are going to be in Shelley's kind of signature kit. So make sure you don't miss out on those. And yeah, I think that's about it. So I hope everybody enjoys this gorgeous day. I'm going to do a bit more stamping and then head out for a hike. I know, Eileen, I can't wait for it either. So yeah, that is my video. You can use my hostess code and get on there and order up your retiring stuff right away, or you know, talk to me about joining my team. So have a great day, and oh, getting Mother's Day messages, how sweet. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.